Hi, it's MDCode, and today we'll talk about a huge pain for a lot of developers that's called major version migration of your core library, framework, or in edge cases of your programming language. This process often takes a lot of time and doesn't always yield proportional results. After numerous attempts across multiple projects, I found that the best solution is to use divide and conquer strategy. Means when you've got a project with large numbers of files, it's easier to split them into smaller groups and migrate one group by another. Yes, it could feel tempting to feed all your code to ChatGPT to make him migrate it for you. But it's always made code review challenging, and it requires a huge and extensive regression testing afterwards. So I started looking for an algorithm-based approach that will let me not check every line of code after it. And I didn't find any decent solution. That's why I built my own VS Code extension that could handle it for me. Today I want to show you an example of how to use it, focusing on migration from Next.js Page router into app router. It doesn't mean that it works only with Next.js, you can use it with any framework or any language like Java, C#, C++, it works perfectly. All you need is VS Code and this extension on board. I will skip simple parts like rewriting a single configuration file and will focus on meaty parts where in real projects usually 30-40 files involved. Enough talking, let's dive into the code. So here is a small Next.js application, nothing special, a few pages, looks like this, cards, you can open it, it navigates, then you can go back with router, it works, hamburger menu, well, a small application, nothing special. Here we've got two main folders, pages and an app folder. Regarding these files, you can migrate it yourself into layout. It's one file, written in documentation, everything is clear. The hardest thing is migration of this next router into next navigation and migrate the page with getServerSideProps into a server component. For the next router, it should be migrated in next navigation. Here is three hooks instead of the one as we've got here. So here you've got one and use it like this. Here is a path name, here is a query. Currently you've got the other situation. You've got the three separate hooks for each and every of these. As you can understand, it's quite heavy to navigate into every file and follow what's there, what should I replace it with, and so on. And regarding the server components, currently it should look like this. Should be called like this, not inside the props, as we've got here. We will start with replacing next router. The trickiest part here is that you need not just to replace the import, you need to replace its usage. Like here, you're creating a variable, then reading path name from it, and then query from it. If you use the next navigation, you will use it like this. Path name is the external hook. The same for useSearchParams. useSearchParam even look like this, so you need to get it as a string, not as a property of a router. So if you'll use the common search of a VS Code, you can replace it. I mean like the import, but you couldn't replace the usage. So for this specific case, I'm proposing to use MDSearch. That's extension that you can install from Marketplace. here and use it to migrate your Next.js from page router to our router. So here we'll search inside this folder for this next router. Here is the two files. You can have 40, 100, it doesn't matter. So you need to click this button, search within these results. After this, all your search will be inside that files that got next router. So why do you need it? Because now you can search for use router and it will be found only inside this specific file where you've got next router. So even if you replace your next router with the next navigation from here, you can search for your use router and find it. So means you can replace this, you can replace path name and so on. So let's go forward. We need to replace this string with this one. So let's just do it. That's all. You can see here we replaced the next router with next navigation, and the same here. We replaced the router path name with use path name hook. Easy. But what we'll do with the other part, with the router, query and ID, as I showed you before, it's a definitely more tricky thing because you need to completely use a different approach for it. So use search instead of router query. To achieve this, we will use regular expressions in our search parameters. So I made a small example in Regexps, like this one, and I wrote a small, I asked the ChatGPT, so I recommend you to do the same. So it will give you a regular expression to find this string. Very important part here is capturing group. I'll show you a bit later why do we need it. So let's just copy this regular expression, then move to our application. Here we'll press regular expression and we'll search for it. So in these files we've got the two imports, one with query.id, another with query user ID. So you can see we can just copy it and paste into the search params variable. We need to copy the specific word, like ID in first case and user ID in the second case. So MDSearch got three main hotkeys. It's a Command-Shift-C, Command-Shift-V, and Command-Shift-X, like a copy, paste, and cut. We need to copy this ID and the user ID and use it for the future development. But how can we get these specific values? We've got a capturing group, and here you can see it number 1. So here in a search string you can write a $1 and it will take the capturing group number 1. Means if you create another capturing group you can write a $2 and so on, and it will search by this for this specific group. So here we are pressing Command-Shift-C, navigate to new file, and we'll paste it here. It's copied ID and user ID. And now we just need to add the search params before this ID. So you can just put it here like this. If you've got 40 lines, no problem, just add it like this, then close. That's all. Then we need to replace the whole string with this search params. So let's just do it. We'll remove $sign to select the whole string, then press Command-Shift-V to paste our values here. Let's check how it works for us. Bam, it's replaced. So you don't need to navigate into every file. You just can replace it from this extension in every place of your project. If you made something wrong, you always have a Command-Shift-Z. It can undo your latest paste or cut. So let's search again and replace it again. So bam. But you can see here we cannot find name search params. We need to import the hook. So let's search for this use router. Oh, not like regular expression, like a common one. And then we'll add search params next to the use router. So like this. And everything works perfectly. Yeah, probably it's not aligned. You can use ESLint to align it. So it's super easy way how to replace all the imports that you've got in your application. Now let's move to something harder. We'll replace getServerSideProps with our server components, and additionally, currently we've got getServerSideProps next to our code, so we will move getServerSideProps in a file next to the component. Step by step, we will move getServerSideProps and then the component itself. The trickiest thing here is that we want to have adequate naming, not like getServerSideProps, but the same as in our examples here, like get projects, or in our case, get tests, get posts, and so on. The same should be relevant for the file name. So instead of getServerSideProps.ts, we will have getProjects.ts, getPosts.ts, and so on. So first of all, let's move this into our temporary file. As you understood, we will use the regular expressions for it. Here I've got a small example with a getServerSideProps. So these regular expressions take the whole getServerSideProps. Move here, search with the regular expression turned on, and here is a places where it exists. So Command-Shift-X to cut it, and then we are moving it to a temporary file. Works fine. Now let's fix the naming. So here we've got tests, posts, and so on. We need to take this value from the function declaration. Same manner, regular expression, capturing group here. Capturing group, it's a word after the function word, so the title of the function. If you've got an arrow function, just update the regular expression. ChatGPT will help you. Same for files. If you've got more files, you can click X and it will exclude from the results this folder or file. So we are taking the first capturing group, means the title of the function. Command-Shift-C and pasting it here. Now we need to update our getServerSideProps with these functions. So like here, 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 and here. Bam, works. Remove these redundant files, redundant lines. Now we need to create a folder structure for these roads, and the best solution that I found is a VS Code extension called multi-folders and file extractor. You can install it from VS Code extension marketplace. Then navigate to the app folder and click create multiple folders or files. Then paste the values that you just copied and then add a like this. Then click enter and it will propose you to create the following file structure. Just click create all. And see on the left you've got a perfect file structure just in the same naming as your components. Here inside every file you've got placeholders. So now what are we gonna do is just to open the MDSearch and then we'll search for this placeholder across our application. You've got expectedly 4 rows with this placeholder. So just navigate to our temporary file, copy all the stuff, and yeah, by the way, check it out. You've got a different order here, so like tests first and posts and base and abracadabra. It's not in the same order as it's here, so you can just drag this in the order that you'd like to. So abracadabra should go to the bottom, then what? Then base should go here, then posts and tests. So order match the order in your file. So just copy it from here and press Command Shift V to paste it. Okay, let's check in our file explorer. Route 1 that lies into abracadabra.get abracadabra, base, posts and tests. Works perfectly. Now let's navigate to the pages file. Okay, now everything that left is to copy this XML into the page file next to the route that we just created. Here we are receiving getServerSideProps inside the props. In the server components manner, we need to receive it like this as a project and here await and so on. So, as you understood, we will use a regular expression to do it. So I've got a small example for you here. This regular expression can cut the params with the capturing group of the function. So let's just use it. Remove this file, it's not necessary. $1. Then we're cutting using Command Shift X this params from function. Let's remove these values from here, this from here, recalling you the shape that we'd like to have. It should be this one. So like const, then name of the variable, and then await get projects. Const here, space, practically. So now let's get our functions from that we just created, our names of the functions. So find a folder. We've got 4 of our queries. $1, because function and then name here. Copy it back here. Check the order, tests, post to reduce and abracadabra, cool, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. Done with it. Now we need to paste this into our functions here. So we will try to get this sign after the function here and replace this with our value from here. As you can understand, one more regular expression. Yeah, a lot of found. Okay, we don't need the app folder, we need only page folder. And here, magic trick, we don't need the whole function declaration, we need just the last symbol. So we've got a one capturing group here and another. So we need the second one, $2. Then remove app, then removing document, this one, this and this, and our 4 files. Let's copy the content. So check the order. Tests, posts, paste, and abracadabra. Copy it. Remove the unnecessary. Copy it. Oh yeah, just to make it prettier, let's add a space here, here, here. Cool. Now Command Shift V to paste it. And let's check the results. So here we've got the replace it value here. Same here, here, and here. Wonderful. So we prepared all our functions and we can paste it into the page file next to the roles that we just created. So let's copy it. Okay, let's take the whole function. App folder, don't need it. Pages, yes. App don't need, document don't need, no need, no need, no need, no need. So here's our 4 files. You can even click here to search within these files and write a regular expression that will take everything from these files, including the imports. But in our case, it's not needed. Command Shift X to cut it from these files. As always, we are moving it to temporary file. And then we'll create in the same manner the files that we need here. Create multiple files and folders, place it here, then pages.tsx. Okay, create it all. A bit different placeholder because it's tsx file. Then we'll search for this placeholder. Wonderful. And now we're just aligning the files. So tests first, then goes paste, then goes abracadabra, and the last one is, no, the last one is abracadabra, paste. Oh yeah. So like tests, posts, paste, abracadabra. Wonderful. Let's copy it and Command Shift V to paste it. Here is it. Our components, place it in a proper place. You can run ESLint to align them properly. But other than that, it's perfectly migrated. So now you've got the following structure. Instead of this, you've got the file structure of the app router with an properly placed pages. Each and every of these includes separate route and page. As you understood, everything took about 15 minutes. Yes, if you've got a heavier project, it could take, I don't know, half an hour or an hour. But other than that, I think that's quite easy to do it. Regarding these imports, I guess you can write it yourself. That's not that hard. Just replace the export with an import, then export, and so on. So I guess you know the drill. Thanks for watching my tutorial how to migrate Next application from page router to app router. If you liked the video, you know what to do, subscribe to the channel, ring a bell and so on. If not, press a dislike and write a comment. I hope that you'll find MDSearch useful for you not only in this case, but in all others that you'll meet. With the next video I'm planning to start a big project on this channel. Hope you'll like it. See you in the next videos.